the feminine gifts. Yesterday's webinar went very, very deep into opening up very core gifts that are in the feminine and the power of the feminine and clearing what is between. And it's interesting, I was reflecting on the work this morning while we start working with the feminine. And what I noticed is there's almost like there's no room or no space for supporting when someone is not willing to change. And that is what I'm noticing with the feminine. As we cleared the wounded feminine was the victim manipulating, playing along, deceit, many different levels. And what I notice as the feminine power comes in stronger and stronger, there's no space to support where there's no growth, where there's compassion, all right, and there's connection and an empathy. But it's really like a strong mother that will not support her child if the child is going to keep repeating habits and keep hurting oneself. So there's a toughness in the system or a strictness in the system, almost like they're really on the nature codes. And this is coming up very, very strong. I noticed this morning is this, well, in the last weeks actually, is this no playing games with the games. It's really about these webinars now are very strong, very impactful, and very serious in a way because they are going back to the really, really core codes of creation. And what I noticed since I started working with the tribes is the tribes are very much connected to these laws of the universe or laws of creation. And the law of creation is really only supporting where there's truth and honesty and integrity in the system. So it will not support you if you will not make change in your behavior in daily life. So if there's disrespect or racism or manipulation or victimhood, it will not support it. So I noticed as I got deeper connection with the tribes that there's a very strong value system in no, I'm not supporting unless you're willing to be supported. I'm not supporting unless you're willing to make changes in your life. This is not being a tourist in the work. This is about you making change. So if you're stepping into these fields are accessible through life change, through behavior change, through the way you speak about yourself, the way you speak about others, the way you support yourself, the way you support others. It will not support manipulation. It will not support any level of victimhood consciousness in the system and will not support any level of abuse in the system. It's really for transformation and for those who really want to make change in their daily lives. And this is the divine feminine. The divine feminine, there is no messing with her. There's no games. She sees through the games. She sees through the victimhood consciousness. She sees through the manipulation. And she supports when the person is open for support and life change in the system. So this evening's webinar, I feel, is very much on a frequency level of that feminine, true feminine that sees through everything, sees through the games, and will not play the games, and is really going into a frequency of integrity, compassion, strength, magnetism, and pristine strength and courage and grace in the system. So I'm really looking forward to bringing that in later. Thank you for everyone who's part of the webinar, anyone who wasn't part of the webinar on the feminine, the wounded feminine, and now the gifts of the feminine. If you want to drop in, it's really important to work with the wounds first, and then you can watch the gifts at any stage later. All the webinars are then recorded, so you can drop in at any stage, but it's really, really a big one, and the fields were immense when working with the feminine. These are immense fields, and the wounds were immense, and now the gifts are immense, and they're really making shifts in the system and unraveling, untangling from old manipulation, old small-mindedness, where I'm playing small, where I'm playing big, wherever anything's out of alignment, it's showing up in the system and it's changing it on all levels of your being. So I look forward to dropping in later. Thank you, everyone, for being part of the webinar. And I look forward to opening up the frequencies later with you all in the gifts of the feminine. Thank you.